So here we are. This is the last section of our document. So we have given a description of the student school, described students' educational placement, provided an opinion about whether or not the least restrictive environment addresses the students' needs. And here, this is where we're describing the classroom that the student participates in. So initially, I was going to include number of students, but I've taken this out. So you only have to worry about content area and curriculum standards used. Okay, so you want to be able to include information about the content area and the curriculum standards used. So for this section, you're going to choose one of Jack Oramon's classes and take a look at the VDOE standards of learning for that class. You're going to give a brief summary of the content and standard objectives. So you can find this information here. But overall, I want you to be able to provide a brief description first. So Armand participates in grade 3 language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. Okay. Reading, social studies, writing. So I'll just say language arts, math, science, and social studies in the general education classroom. Okay, so now I am going to choose to look at mathematics standards. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click on this link. So in the state of Virginia, the standardized assessment is called the Standards of Learning, or SOLs. So here on this side, you'll be able to see all of the standards of learning. So I'm going to find math, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to find the grade level that corresponds to Armand. So he is in grade 3. So you can look at the standards, you can look at the curriculum framework. So I'm going to go into standards, okay? So once I open that up, I am looking for the information that's relevant to the curriculum standards, okay? So I'm going to look at this overview. So these first couple paragraphs are going to give us just a very brief overview about it. So I'm going to be just reading through this first paragraph, okay? So when I'm reading this and looking at the standards, so this is the brief overview, and then these are kind of the big ideas. So number and number sense, computation and estimation, and measurement and geometry, and probability statistics and patterns, functions, and algebra. So we can include some sort of summative statement. Okay, so I'm going to copy this statement. And probably this one too. So I will copy that. And I'm also going to look at when this was published. Okay, so Virginia Department of Education in 2016, because I'm going to want to cite that information. So I'm going to choose the content area is going to be math. And then when I'm looking at the summary of content and standards, I'm going to go ahead and copy paste what I had. So this is Virginia Department of Education, 2016. Because again, if I'm going to use this whole quote, I need to cite it. Okay. So when I'm looking at this, I can go and be a little bit more specific. So I'm going to go back into that document. I'm just going to open it again. And so you can just give me an example. So for example, for number sense, I'm just going to copy these two standards. So this is this, when you see 3.1, that's the standard. So for example, third grade will be able to read, write, and identify the place value of each digit in a 6-digit whole number that could, with and without models, and be able to round, whole, be able to round whole numbers, and I'm just going to say less than 1, 2, 3, 4 digit. And compare and order all numbers. And again, this is a citation because again, this is from that site, okay? So for example, third grade students will, in the category of numbers, number sense, third grade students will. Okay, so that is really what I'm looking for. So you're looking at the specific content area. You're going to give a brief summary of the content and standard objectives, and they're found here. Okay, so that is going to be part B, or part D, I'm sorry. And again, we want to be specific in terms of like, this is a narrative form. You want to be able to utilize your citations. And if you have any questions, just let me know.